Welcome, Hafeeza. Welcome to this platform.
Thank you. So this is awesome and amazing. Let me just set the disclaimer. I'm doing double duty, so we're figuring out this whole StreamYard situation. I believe we have our mic on. Just want to make sure that the audio is working, and it looks like it is, so that's perfect. Yes. All right. So thank you for joining us. Yes, Labors of Love. I'm grateful that this is the first episode. Typically, we're going to have a guest every week. So I just wanted to come on and introduce myself. I have the privilege of having such an amazing support. So how we're going to do this evening is kind of an interview format, the same way that the show will be done here moving forward. But today's subject is me, and just in reference to what you can expect from Labors of Love podcast.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to this platform, Hafeeza.
Thank you.
I'd like to just start out. Can you just tell the world who is Hafeeza Ture?
So I wear many hats, and I'm grateful for that. But one of the most significant hats for me is mother. I am a mother of 3 amazing children. My daughter's 16, and my middle child, my oldest son, is 13, turning 14, and my youngest son is 7.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, but on top of that, I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a lot of passion projects that I have working right now. Personal growth and development is very important to me. Healing modalities, especially around holistic healing, as well as, just nutrition and doing things that are good for the body and the soul is definitely something that is extremely important to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. So can you just share a little bit about your concept? How did you come up with this concept, and what is the concept of Labors of Love?
Absolutely. So Labors of Love was definitely born out of the desire to share and hear uplifting stories around pregnancy, labor and delivery, childbirth, motherhood. I came up with the concept about 5 years ago. I was going through a bit of a transition myself, but I was very passionate about just supporting women and mothers in particular. As a mother at that time with younger children, one of the things that were bonding was coming together as families, play dates and things of that nature. And we would always get into the discussion of, pregnancy and labor and delivery, and people sharing their experiences. And from those conversations, being a part of different organizations, whether it's Mocha Moms or, Breastfeeding Alliance or Girl Scouts or whatever activities brought us together, the conversation would ultimately come to that. And just hearing people share their stories, it was one of those very bonding moments, because that is a personal story to share. But I saw a consistent theme in some instances of those stories not being of positive experiences, of more so of, some even tragic, but it understanding how I chose a different option, which at the time was not something that was considered mainstream. I chose to have out of hospital births. I had, births in a birth center, and then, 2 births at home, which in the mid 2000s was still something that wasn't popular. It wasn't on TV. Didn't have celebrities, recording their live births at birth centers. So it was a conversation that wasn't being had. So the desire for me is to begin that dialogue and not even just begin that dialogue with women, but having the conversation as a community, because it's those around us that support us in this process that allows us to have birthing experiences that are healthy, that are empowering, and that are supported. So for this to be on this platform, I'm grateful because I know this is an international audience. I also know that it's a combination of men and women, but just speaking to families, because that dialogue makes it a normal thing to speak about birth and to understand what, as women, what we need, how you can best support us. Because one of the things that I also found was in having the conversation about what it was that I desired, because it was so foreign, a lot of the feedback I got was negative, particularly from other women. Like I'm saying, I want to have out of hospital birth. I'm going to go to a birth. I got a doula. I have a midwife, and I want to have my birth this way. And people are like, oh, well, wait till those contractions start. Wait till you start feeling the pain, and wait till this, that, and the other. So it was more discouraging than it was supportive. So definitely born out of the desire to have these conversations on a broader scale, to normalize some aspects of it so that those who we need support from can give the support, to enlighten, to empower, and to inform other women about what their choices are around birthing. You might not want to have the same experience of a home birth. You might choose to do it differently, but whatever your choice is, it's yours and it's honored, and you have the support and the resources that you need to get that, have that happen the way you desire it. The other piece is we are in unprecedented times. My birth experience, the most recent one was 7 years ago. So to be in a pandemic, we need to understand, how does that change things? What are the resources? What are the supports that are in place to be birthing in this different environment? And is it, is out of hospital births on the rise now because of, what's going on in the hospitals, with there being so many people who are experiencing a contagious, dis-ease? So these are some of the conversations that we're going to have with the midwives and the doulas, and the traditional childbirth supporters who come on this platform to speak about what it is that they do, how they came to support women, where did this calling come from, what are some of the services they provide, what are some of the stories that can be more empowering and impactful for those considering having, even if it's traditional or untraditional ways of bringing life into this world. And also through the journey of motherhood. Like, it doesn't only pertain to, pregnancy, labor, and delivery. Like, we need support. We need community in every aspect of it. And it's not just mothers, it's families. How much, how much more beneficial would it be to our future generations? We talk about generational wealth. The wealth is in our babies. The wealth is in the future generations that we are cultivating now. So how much more value can we bring to them when we're coming from a place that's supported, and coming from a place of love? So that's the motivation.